After watching three Argento movies with me, my wife was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to watch this. Deep Red. So Deep Red is the fourth Dario Argento film that I've watched. It's written and directed by him, but also co-written by a man named Bernardino Zapponi, and it stars David Hemmings and Daria Nicolodi. And it's my first of these kind of movies that I've ever seen. I was under the impression that the two other ones that in this era, Inferno and Suspiria, were considered uh, giallo or giallo films, but turns out no. Those kinds of films are generally kind of mystery thrillers, and so that's what this movie falls under. So Deep Red is a mystery thriller, and fuck, man, it got me. Like, it really sunk its teeth into me, and I really enjoyed it. So it's about this guy, Mark Daly. He's an Englishman in Italy. He teaches piano, and he sees a murder, goes up to investigate, and then for the rest of the movie, he's trying to figure out who did it because that person's coming for him. And I really like this movie. All right, so just right off the bat, there's a couple negatives, and we'll get to those right now. So I'm talking about the rest of the movie. Now, the first one is, all right, I love the music in this, but sometimes it's really fucking awful and way too loud and high pitched, and you're just like, ugh. But the rest of the time, I fucking love the music. Put a couple of the tunes on my Spotify playlist, and yeah, I'll be happy for whenever they turn up on shuffle. Now, the other thing is, this movie's quite sexist. And, alright, it's 1975, different time, different era, but even for 1975, this seemed a bit macho and sexist. Not in a way that kind of ruined the film for me, but I can see that sticking out for other people, especially the interactions between David Hemmings and Daria Nicolodi. They're great, they're well acted, I like the characters, but some of the dialogue, I'm just like, you couldn't think of another way for these two to kind of, I don't know, flirt and get along? Yeah, it just kind of stuck out to me. Other than that, what draws me in was the mystery and the characters. There's some really good characters in there, there's some good atmosphere and all that. But unlike the other Argento movies I've seen, this one has a story that's pretty easy to follow. In fact, if you're paying close attention to this movie, you'll see who the killer is right at the start. Like, there'll be a giant clue, and you'll be like, wait. And then you'll see that character later, and you're like, I know it's you. However, I didn't see it. So, for the rest of the movie, I'm just like, I wonder who the killer is. And when it was revealed to be the person I thought it was, I was like, no, man, you were going so well. And then I'm thinking, like, wait, but that doesn't make sense because of these other things. But they do promote this kind of supernatural element to this movie. So I'm like, all right, maybe it's something to do with that. No. Then the real murderer is revealed, and I'm just like, oh, fuck, you got me. All right, that's pretty good. Then I went back to around about where this major clue was dropped at the start of the film. I'm like, is it there? Or do they cut away from it so you don't ever see it? So you don't realize what he's missed. And it's there. Yep. I paused it and I'm like, no shit. Okay. Yep. So unlike the other Argento flicks that I've watched, and I'm not talking about Mother of Tears, that movie sucks, but I'm talking more Inferno and Suspiria. Those two movies to me were more about style over any kind of substantive story. And whilst I do like that style, I liked it enough to watch Deep Red. Uh, I can see other people watching that, going back to those old movies and thinking, oh, let's see what the fuss is about with Dario Argento. But with this one, Deep Red, man, I see what the fuss is all about. This movie held my attention for 2 hours. I was humming along to the music. Sometimes the music feels a little too disco-y for the situation, but even still, I was just like, like that, just dancing away. And I really appreciated that I missed a clue that was right there, but it is blink and you'll miss it. So I don't know what I was doing, blinking maybe, but I thought it was really well done. So if you missed that first clue, there are other clues scattered throughout the movie, and I'm just getting these through hindsight. So maybe I was just so caught up in the atmosphere and the vibe and the characters of the movie that I just let the clues just slip my brain, because this was a really nicely done movie. It's not perfect. I do have some problems with it, as I said, some of the music, and a little bit of the sexism and stuff. But at 2 hours, it never dragged. I was always kind of enthralled by what was happening. It was wonderfully shot, and I'm gonna give it a 9. Yeah, it's the first one of his movies that I've ever felt like I might go back and revisit. I wouldn't revisit the original Suspiria because I just watched the superior Suspiria instead, and Inferno and Mother of Tears. Meh. So yeah, there's definitely more Argento coming, and I can't wait. So I've had a couple suggestions thrown my way already, and I'll get around to them eventually. But yeah, check out Deep Red. It's really cool. Yes, it's in subtitles. Who cares? It's amazing. Check this out. And give me a like, dislike, share and subscribe. All that junk. Man. That was a good movie. No Bruce Willis to be seen. It was just a fucking good time. Yeah. Wow, I really needed that. I've been watching some stank lately.